Lydia is the ultimate goal, but I need to make progress in Faction Wars. So for today, we're gonna go ahead, break this down, and see which champions I need to build to be able to do that. Hey you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. With Faction Wars, for today, we have the Dark Elves Crypt, as well as the Knight's Revenant Crypt. And as for Lydia, I'm at part 10 out of 21, so I am still quite a ways away. But looking at some of the factions I have and where I'm at in terms of how many stars, I've really only completed one so far, which is the Sacred Order Crypt. For Knight's Rev, I am at 44, and this one I think I should be able to get down a little bit further. I'm close enough. All of these champs, take out Skeletor for a second, there you go. All of these champs are 60, but realistically with the champs I have, I should be able to get this one done sooner rather than later. I think I've got the champions for it. It's really just a matter of putting in the time there. But if we're looking at one of the ones I don't have as many stars on, it's actually perfect. It's open today. So this one is the Dark Elves Crypt. I'm only at stage 10, and the fact that I've got 1 star on a lot of these at this point, we should have a lot more. So I think the question is, who do I actually have in my Dark Elves and who is going to be worth building here? So let's jump into that. Let's start off by looking at the Dark Elves that I actually do have. So going through here, in terms of legendaries, I have one, which is Visix. I think for me, she will be a must use in here. In terms of the epics, I actually feel like I'm lacking quite a bit of epics, especially some of the champs that I really would use in here. And then in terms of the rares, I haven't gotten all of the rares somehow. I'm still missing 2 actually. Maybe you guys are still missing some rare champs. Well, I mean, you're not alone. I actually was talking about cold hearts in a different video, and somebody mentioned they've been playing for like 2 years and haven't pulled a cold heart. So I feel you. I feel you with certain champions. But in terms of the rares, this is where I have the ones that I think I would actually use in here, even though I haven't fully built some of these champions out. For example, Kyle, I have him. Great choice here. I personally kept mine at 50. He's an option I can definitely use. Next up would be Cold Heart. Also one I would suggest. I've got 2 Cold Hearts built. Chances are if you have a Cold Heart, you have her built anyway, so you will probably use her in here. It's nice because with her, you get 4 hits on that first skill. Second one, it is an AoE, which is great. And then you also have a poison debuff on there if you are able to land a heal reduction from the skill 1. Now, third one, this one is a full decrease of the turn meter, which is huge. Very, very helpful when you want to kind of crowd control the champs a bit. So she does, I'm not going to say a little bit of everything, but she definitely brings something to the table that makes you want to add her into your team. And then another one I actually have recently built is Painkeeper. I'm working on building 3 Painkeepers right now for my Iron Twin team. She's a good one. You have attack an enemy 2 times, filling this champ's turn meter. You have an AoE, which gives you a bit of a heal. So she's one that I would bring along and plan to, because you do get that heal out of her. And then this one is also a huge skill that will be very beneficial. Decrease the cooldown of all ally skills by 1 turn. This skill can have this cooldown reduced by other skills that reduce cooldowns by 1 turn. So hypothetically, I can use my 3 Painkeepers in. Although none of my Painkeepers I think are actually hooked up right now, but for rares, she's a good one. So if we're going through rares, the ones that I would suggest would for sure be your Cold Heart. It would be your Painkeeper, and potentially your Kyle. Kyle's good too. I mean, you have poison debuffs coming out of him, so if you are lacking some other champs like in these higher up ones, then those are the 3 rares that I would suggest. Next up, this would be the epics. Now, in terms of the epics, for myself, these are the champs that I have, and I personally have not built any of these epics actually out now that I'm looking at them. I feel like I'm definitely missing some of the ones that I would build. And my other thing is, right now, I don't plan to build champions specifically just for Faction Wars. I'm trying to do it with the champs I already have built. Maybe I'm using them somewhere else. Do I think that this is going to help me in hard Faction Wars? Absolutely not. I will probably have to build specific champions for Faction Wars. For now, I'm trying not to do that. So out of all the ones that I have here, I think I have maybe all of one that I would actually go ahead and use. One of the ones that I have not built, but I think would actually be worth it, is this attack champion right here. Part of the reason is that you have that chance of a freeze on there, have an AoE as well, which fills this champion's turn meter on a crit hit, so you would have to build the champ for crit, but having the perfect veil on this champ as well is a very nice skill to have. So having an AoE in here and then having the chance to actually freeze any type of crowd control and the fact that it's an attacker, this is one that I would consider. Another one I do not have but would be nice to have would be this one right here, because blocking buffs. That is such an annoying thing in Faction Wars when there's certain buffs that come up and you have to either wait for it or strip it if you can or any of that. So having a turn one that can block buffs is huge. And then if anything, if they do buff, you have a chance to remove all buffs from all enemies and place a weaken debuff on all enemies. And of course, every faction needs a revive. This is a reviver. So this is actually a solid champ. If I got this one, it's one that I would actually consider building. Pointed her out earlier, still stand by that because you have a fear debuff on that first skill. You have an AoE here, stealing a random buff. Blocking debuffs, again, which we kind of, well, we talk about blocking buffs, but blocking debuffs on allies is also huge. True Fear is also great. And then removing all buffs from enemies, decrease of attack, decrease of defense. And again, that's everyone. So having the defense break allows you to really do a lot more. And then you have a nice passive. So honestly, great support. And one that if I got her and I built her, it wouldn't just be used in Faction Wars. I would use her in multiple areas of this game. If you're looking for a backup reviver, then Kaden could be a good one. This one also has a provoke on a first skill, but you have 2 random allies that can actually be revived, which is nice because when you're going through faction, you need that. And then an AoE here where you have a decrease of attack. So another one I would consider. So with the ones that I've kind of talked about, I don't actually have a lot of them. I do have this champ, which I would actually consider. But apart from that, I feel like a lot of the champs that I personally am interested in for this type of faction for Dark Elves, I actually don't have. Now, luckily, I do have Visix. Mentioned her earlier. She is one definitely worth building. First turn, you have a chance to decrease the turn meter, which is great. You do have an AoE decrease of speed and ally protection as well. So really nice just for keeping some alive. Again, another AoE with a provoke. So all of these things, anytime you can get an AoE, it's really nice to get through those annoying waves. Plus, you're gonna get her for free anyway as a login champion. And as I said, I don't know, I feel like Dark Elves are slim pickings with the lack of fusions kind of coming out with them. Hopefully maybe sometime soon. So she is one I would definitely say build her. And then eventually, once you can get a champ like Mithralis, she would really, really help out. I mean, we need all those to actually go ahead and get Lydia, but I feel like for the ones that we can talk about that you can have more access to, that would be like a Visix, or that would be like a Mithralis, who is also a great support. But I also feel like maybe you'd be done this faction possibly by the time you get Mithralis. I mean, for me anyway, I don't quite have her yet, but she's one I would love to have. I feel like she'd be helpful here for me. Looking at all of that, you may be like, well, Cece, why don't you specifically go ahead and like build XYZ champion? And honestly, you guys, it's just because I have a list of champions that I need to build and get through. So this is what we are working with for Dark Elves. Now, looking at that and looking at what I have, I feel like I should be able to go ahead and get further down now that I've actually gone through and built some of my champs. So we're gonna back up, go to stage 3 and see what we can do in here. The first thing I am kind of realizing now that I'm coming back into here is that I do have my 3 Pain Keepers partially built, but the only issue with that is they don't have gear on them. I have them started, they're all 3 are 50 and they're ascended, but yeah, I haven't put the gear on them yet. So I can go ahead and throw random gear on them. However, because I'm using them in my Iron Twin team, I actually need to speed tune all 3 of them and make sure that the gear makes sense. So I don't think I want to necessarily go ahead and just throw whatever gear on them. So we'll see how far I can get. Now, at stage 3, obviously we've increased the stars there. I should be able to do the same for 4, or for 4 is done, but for stage 5, 6, 7, 8. The thing is, do I have enough keys to actually do that? So we need to go through and see if we can improve this. But these guys alone should be able to take me down further into here. I do think what I'm going to do though is I got my 2 my 2 cold hearts I'm bringing into here. I have my 1 Pain Keeper, Visix, and Kyle. They could be able to do this entire thing. If I am lacking any type of assistance or heals, that's where I may swap in another Pain Keeper and potentially take out a cold heart. But because those are the ones I have built for now, they're doing good. And the great thing with the cold hearts is that they are able to go ahead and do some of the AoEs, because all of the AoEs will allow us to get through these waves even faster. So realistically, we went down, we got to stage 10. This one was still only 1 star. And this is with Pain Keeper not having gear, Kyle not having gear. And I think my cold heart may have something stolen in terms of gear. But I ended up using all my keys, and this got us another legendary book, which is great, and approaching another epic book. I will already be able to use that legendary book. And on the plus side, at least I'm now part 11 out of 21. So moving forward, I think that is the team I'm going to use, and hopefully we'll be able to make big improvements within this faction. If you download Raid Shadow Legends using my link, I'm actually going to start you off with the free legendary champion on day 1. And then at level 10, level 20, and level 30, you'll get yourself an epic. That is 4 amazing champions that you can get just by downloading using my link. That's it for today's video, and I think I'm in a good position. Now that I've started building my Pain Keepers, though, I think adding in that support is really what is going to be the game changer for me. But I really just need to go ahead and get gear on them so that I'm able to get that one step closer. I want you guys comment down below and let me know what team are you using for your Dark Elves Faction Wars. And be sure you subscribe as you follow my journey through Raid as a newer player. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!